Do you want to know the 10 red flags of dating to watch out for? Hey, I'm Antia Boyd, creator of the Magnetize The Man Method. And today we're going to talk about this so you can avoid so much pain in your life and you can act accordingly. Now, tip number 10 is he only gives you one-word answers. So you notice like scenarios, you write novels, you talk about how your day was, what you had for breakfast, when you took out your dog, and he writes just like, awesome. Okay, great, awesome. It's nice to have a conversation with you, right? So really like know right away, this is the first red flag, right? He's not mirroring back to you, he's not asking you deeper questions, right? Or sharing a little bit more of himself. Number 9 is it takes him a significant amount of time to respond. Now I say significant because obviously we have 9-to-5 jobs or even entrepreneurs that work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, right? But if it's like, out of the ordinary long time to respond, like, he texts you like on Saturday morning and you hear back on like Sunday night, right? And so stuff like that, right? So just gonna use your judgment of that a little bit, but it's just kind of like unusual amount of time, that's definitely a red flag. Something else is going on, he has something else on the back burner, or he simply doesn't prioritize you. Also, of course, look, his actions don't follow his words, right? That's number 8. And so what we want to talk about here is, he might even, so I see this sometimes from women who date somebody online, right? Or like he lives further away. He's like, or maybe he lives just down the street, but he's so busy and I really enjoy you. Please give me a chance. And you're so amazing, right? But I gotta walk my dog and my mom got sick and I had like this work weekend and then I had to go out with my colleagues and whatever. Look, his actions don't follow his words, okay? Like he's not interested in you. There's something else going on. There's an incongruence. Red flag for you, girlfriend, something to watch out for. Number 7 is he prioritizes other areas over your life, over his life, right? And over being with you, right? And again, this goes a little bit also back to what I just said about number 8, which is all about like everything else is more important, right? Which again, he's just not that into you, right? Like don't take it personal, but please don't get your hopes up, girlfriend. This is not going to lead anywhere. He always has an excuse. That is number 5, right? And so what that really means is like it really makes a lot of sense, right? So he's like basically, he needs to feed his hamster, or he needs to fill in for his coworker, and he always has an excuse why he can't see you or why he had to text you back later. And again, it goes back to the incongruency, right? So a lot of this is really going back to the incongruency. So watch out for that as well. Then that was number 6. Number 5. He's condescending and sarcastic. So now we're not talking about whether he's interested in you. Now we're going to talk about if he respects you, right? If he's kind to you, or if he's abusive. And so you want to watch out for that. Those little like nagging comments. So like, oh, you could lose a little pounds here, or you could like a little, just like just little comments, right? Or anything that puts him above you, right? Like watch out for that. That is already the first red flag for abuse, right? Very important. Number 6 is, or number 7, I don't know. You never get introduced to his friends. Okay, you never get introduced to his friends. You never see anyone who's important to him, right? That should be a red flag to you, right? Why not, right? What are his friends thinking of you? What's going on? Right? So you should have alarm bells ringing, right? I remember I dated this one guy like, 10 years plus. And he was never introducing me to his friends. He always had an excuse. He's like, oh, it didn't work so well. Let's just meet for breakfast. And then I meet my friends later. Or they weren't available. We couldn't go this weekend. Or yada, yada, right? Which goes back to the excuses. And lo and behold, he was never interested in me. He was never really invested in me, right? And how I knew? Because when he had his next girlfriend, right? He actually right away schlepped all of his friends to one of her parties, and she was like several years younger than him, and so I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for that reminder. It hurt a little bit at the time, of course, but it was a good reminder. Look, he will introduce you to his friends if he's interested in you, right? If he doesn't, he's not interested in you. It's that simple, okay? Or he thinks it's not going to go anywhere, so he doesn't want, or he has someone else that he's dating and he doesn't want his friends to know you, and they might actually be able to fill you in, right? And then number 3 is he only is available on weekdays and not weekends. Look, you never get that prime Saturday evening date, right? For some reason, it's like a Thursday night, it's a Monday, late afternoon, right? Whenever he can fit you in, but you don't get the weekend dates, right? That means like he keeps them open, he keeps his options open, right? He's probably seeing other people. So again, pay attention to that as well. Number 2 is he doesn't respond to your desires. So that's a little bit when you start to date a little bit, right? So you're in the beginning stages, and maybe say, hey, can you text me when you get home? Or, maybe you fly somewhere on a business trip, or he flies somewhere on a business trip, and you tell him, hey, can you text me just when you land, so just know that you got, say, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then he doesn't do that, right? This is a very safe sign that he's an avoidant attachment styles, because avoidant attachment styles are really going from everybody's in it for themselves, right? They don't take accountability for other people, responsibility for other people. They just take responsibility for themselves. So that case, run, okay? And number 1, he just talks about himself on a date, right? And so what that means is, you might be sitting like, God, okay, I now know where he grew up, and I know all of what happens at work, and what his favorite vacations is, and how many times he went to a car race, and but he never asks you a question about you. Like, he's not interested in you. You know what I mean? He loves the attention, he loves the energy. So in that case, it's really about like, there's many things that you can do. You can either go in and actually offer something from yourself, or just be like, wow. You can put like your hand on his hand and be like, that's a lot to take in. Let me just take a breath. And in that sense, you really bring the energy towards yourself, right? So those are the 10 red flags of dating that you should watch out for. So if you're like, gosh, Antia, there's like at least 3, 4, 5 things on this list that I experience on a regular basis with men, right? They don't invest more than a 1-word text message, right? Or they always just text me at random times, or don't even call me. Or if for some reason they're only available on weekdays, on weekends, they're somehow, disappearing, right? Then invite you to come on a Magnetize the Man clarity call with me, where we get crystal clear. Girlfriend, what's getting in the way? What signals are you sending ahead of time, right? What manual are you handing him? What resume are you handing him that he thinks he can treat you this way? Because don't forget, you attract who you're being, right? So you're giving him information about how and what category he should put you in and how he'll treat you. So for that, hop on over to magnetizetheman.com and grab your slot as long as they last, or click on the link directly below to grab that slot, so for us to have this conversation, so for you to stop attracting men who give you those red flags, or for you to see the red flag right away, be like, oh, thank you, I'm going the opposite direction. Okay, so again, magnetizetheman.com, and don't forget, girlfriends, dreams do come true. Mwah!